get started. Since I'm joining from my phone, I'm not going to be able to present. So please, yeah.
I'll stream it.
Cool. See. Awesome, Swell. Thanks so much.
And then let me quickly summarize what we've got on the menu. Some news bites. I rebranded housekeeping to news bites. If you have something even more cool, then let me know. Then we're going to do a little bit of a walk the board on our Kanban board. Ray finally gets to show us Sobol and how we can see projects and project managers there. Then I added an item on Mint Kudos. That's going to be something where I add something, Jekyll adds something, and Swell is going to do a demo if you're still up to.
Absolutely. I need people's wallet addresses though on the Polygon network.
On KPIs. So we got a packed agenda. Let's get started.
Sorry,
yeah.
Swell, did you say you needed wallet addresses for something?
19 entries as per last forum information. Did we even get further to that?
Renee, can you hear us?
Jekyll, you're muted if you're talking, else I'm 19. Oh.
I'm not talking, no. Can you hear us, Renee?
You are not muted either.
Can't hear you talking.
Unhear us.
Guys, can you still hear me talking?
Right. At least I am back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where did?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go one by one. No, honestly, where did I leave you? Lose you?
Well, we heard you, but when you was talking about Mint Kudos,
yeah.
I just wanted to say for peeps who delivered and facilitated a retro, it would be really awesome to get your Polygon wallet address so you can claim a Mint Kudos for facilitating a retro. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of live demonstrate how that works. So, you know, if you guys are managing projects throughout the DAO or further afield, then this is a really cool way to just like give people appreciation and also give them that like on-chain credentialing that they have delivered something. So this, yeah, I'm going to give everybody a Mint Kudos when it comes to that point, but I would also like people, whilst we're going through the other items of the agenda, to see if they can find a retrospective. If they've facilitated a retrospective, can they please share by DM a Polygon wallet address to me, please?
Will do. That sounds great.
Hey, Swole, as well, the wallet addresses are also in our contributor list, just so you know.
Ah, what, on Notion?
That's correct.
Hey, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll bear that in mind. I think this would be a cool way to demonstrate, though. But yeah, I'll figure that out while we get to it.
I'll send you my my address, and then you can use that one before you have to navigate. Okay, then sorry for the confusion, and still, let's get started on the news bites.
Just checking you can still hear us, yeah?
Yeah. Thanks. No, I actually connected to your stream from my laptop, and then obviously it broke my phone.
Keck. Yeah.
Yeah. So, vibe. Pulse check. Excuse me. Okay, that was background noise.
You're okay. No need to apologize.
Cal,
my friend.
do we have more than 19 entries by now? Yeah. I was just saying, do we have? Yeah, cool. I'm super happy that we have 19 entries. That's like a really great number to get a good overview. And still also to the OGs here, I don't know if you have had the time, but please also help us to understand where we are at on the Vibes Pulse check. Then on the podcast headship project management need, maybe you can remember from last week that Woon was asking who is going to be able to help them. There weren't too many.
I can give an
yep.
update on that. Oak Flores couldn't make it today, but messaged me that he'd really like to take that up as an opportunity. It just wasn't sure what the next steps were. So I let him know I'd bring that up today.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. And I'm actually going to offer to support on this as well. So I'm going to connect to Oak Flores, and then him and me, they and me, are going to connect to Woon, and let's see how we can support. It's just really important to me that if someone reaches out to the guild for support, that we somehow are able to support this. And yeah, then
I think what we need to do is also bear in mind that we can do this with a decentralized approach, right? So although we might have someone who actually has capacity and wants to do this on assigns their own time to it kind of consistently throughout a week. However, it doesn't mean that they can't come to the rest of the guild if they're having maybe a blocker with something that they want some advice on, and that's just an opportunity to then continue with that upskilling perspective from a more practical experience rather than just reading a educational article or doing some learning. It's an actual on job experience, so to speak.
Cool. This is really something that makes me very happy, because I believe the main reason for forming a guild is to support projects with talent. Then of course there is a certain level of self-sufficiency of guilds where where we are able to train and upskill ourselves, and that in itself has value. But ultimately, if projects benefit from us being there, then this is amazing. So if we can make this happen like it looks at the moment, then this makes me really glad. Perfect. Then third item, reminder to fill out contributor form. If you haven't filled the contributor form, do that now. This is our way to understand whether you're an active member of the guild, and soon this should be also with the time zone. Maybe if you can remember, a few weeks ago we were thinking about whether this meeting is good to cover all time zones of the guild, and the way to understand whether we maybe need another time or maybe a second meeting would be to understand in which time zone everyone lives in. So if this makes sense to everyone, then we are adding the time zone to the contributor form. So when you add your name and ETH address and stuff, then you also will add your time zone. And for those who have already added themselves to this list, then I can add your time zone if you want to DM me, or let us know in the channel. So just that we get a good overview as to the global distribution of our team. And then I guess one part that GCal asked me to add to the news bites is, how did we handle tracking active member? I want to see if someone wants to volunteer for that. I guess this is where we developed a method to then derive from guild members to active members, and we need to track those criteria. If someone is interested in helping us to get those data, then this would be really awesome. That helps us to get a better overview as to our active members.
I can help with that, and in Sobel show, I will show it in the Sobel site, Sobel time.
Okay, cool. then let's just defer that to the Sobol demo, yeah?
Rene, sorry, are you on your laptop now?
Yes.
Yes,
Can we switch the stream
to my screen.
to Rene's if that's possible?
No,
Rene,
point,
sorry.
no, the point being, I'm on my laptop, but I'm struggling to get my headset connected. So if I connect this to my laptop, then I'm not going to be on audio. Is there an issue with your stream? Should we, or? As well?
I can share.
Yeah, if you can.
Hey, sorry, I had to answer my door.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're good, yeah? Let's keep your stream for the moment. Let me just document this. Then education workstream lead update. Paul, you added RAP?
Yes. So don't know how to say this, but essentially my life has got extremely busy. I think I've taken on more than I can chew, and it's really busy in my fiat role at the moment too. And I feel that the education work stream to be a proper success and be of value to Bankless DAO and the wider Web3 community could really do with someone that has more than 5 hours a week capacity. It really needs to be led. I still want to be around to guide and help and support, and I'm obviously like Links, I'm still going to be around in the PM Guild. I want it to be successful, and I do genuinely want us to be like the mecca of Web3 project management. But I know if I am still the education workstream lead, the education workstream won't be a success in season 5. So that's my update. I'd really like to see if people would want to take that role and responsibility on. I think we're pretty flexible in how that's going to take place. If people want to share that role, or if someone just wants to go for it, obviously it will still go out to community vote. But I just feel very irresponsible if I try and make it work with my limited capacity.
Yeah, first of all, Swell, I really appreciate that you're being open about the capacity that you can contribute, and I really see this as a signal that you still want to see PM Guild succeed, that you want to hand this over. Yeah, ultimately, yeah. So what this means is to this audience, but also, of course, I'm going to ask in the channel as well if you're interested in the role of education workstream lead, or if you just feel that you can contribute here, then let the community know in the channel. So we don't need, let's please not do this via DM. Let's be very transparent. If you're interested, then just share this in the channel. And I would hope that we have like a quick transition, so we can get at least quick transparency as to who would be the education workstream lead, so we don't lose too much time. And in the meantime, I'm going to try and see how I can also support. But
Yeah,
again,
and
Swall,
I just want to say, also, I'm not going to drop anyone in the deep end. Like I will be here as normal. I'll still be attending every single Friday call. I just think it needs more than the capacity I can give to the role to make it a success. So I'll still support, I'll still guide, and also still help follow up on the Mint Kudos partnership, working with Bankless Academy, etc. I can still make that happen, but I genuinely think it needs someone who's got more capacity, and I also think it's a really good opportunity. I just seeing what Links is saying, like I'm literally nearly at 70 hours a week at the moment. I've kind of been pushing the needle pretty thinly. So yeah, it's all for the long term benefit of myself and my career. But I care so deeply about Project Management Guild. If it wasn't for people like Lynx, Rene, Justice, Bo, back when I first joined Bankless DAO, I wouldn't be in a position that I'm in now, and it wouldn't have, reinvigorated my passion for project management. And thanks to these guys, I'm doing really well for myself. So yeah, I can't thank you enough. Hence why I care so strongly about Project Management Guild being a success, and bringing people on the same journey that I've been through as a result. And I think I'd be an absolute arsehole, excuse my language, for for continuing this role, getting paid bank when I can't be the success that it needs. So yeah.
Thanks, Wall. Really appreciate it.
Can I ask what the I guess responsibilities of the education coordinator are, just for anyone who might be thinking about wanting to run?
I can kind of list, as we're going through the agenda for the rest of the meeting, I can kind of list some high level stuff. But for now, I think the main thing is our outcome of season 5, and that's the MVP of the learning accredited solution. I know there's been some kind of conversation around that since we last spoke about it. Obviously, as I'm PMing in Bankless Academy, I've got a really strong link between BDAO, PM Guild, Bankless Academy, and Mint Kudos for an actual content-driven project management course that can be a really good onboarding tool for project managers from Web 2 to Web 3. However, in the meantime, I think what you suggested, Links, is a really good solution to hit the ground running. So basically looking at the skill tree, and again, I will help whoever decides to take this on, or whatever team decides to take this on, I'll help set the foundations for this. But we want to look at the skill tree, decide what tangible demonstratable skills there are within that skill tree that people can showcase and get, what's the word I'm looking for? Get like a testimony, but that's not the word I'm looking for. But basically,
a certificate.
Yeah. No, like other people guild to say they have done.
Endorsement.
Endorsement. Thank you very much.
You bet.
And cheers. And do that through through Mint Kudos, and basically allow people to have like an on-chain credential that I have delivered a retrospective, I can do this, I can do that, I've delivered a sprint planning session, those sort of things we can do as a guild, but I've just not got the capacity to lead that. But again, I'm not leaving the guild, I just stepping down from the role, so I can still help and support.
Yeah, and to the point of Links, maybe it does really make sense, well, that we both try and align in the next 1 or 2 days to get something out there in the channel that outlines a little bit more what the education workstream needs.
A smooth transitional process and handover. If you want, we can set some time tomorrow with your, when you've got capacity, and myself, just to go over this and flesh it out so it's straightforward.
Cool. Yeah, so thanks for the point, Links. Okay, so with that, should we go over to the Kanban board? Is that all right? Okay, so I'm looking at the Kanban board now. Maybe Swell, you can also open it in the stream. I'm looking at the retrospective part. And here we have
this at the moment.
Oh, that's good. Cool. Yeah, so in progress research, which projects are interested in running a retrospective. McGill, I think you set that up and are already actively asking guilds and projects, right? Is McGill with us today?
Yeah, McKeel's here, and I did see him asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'd say as part of that, we created a centralized form under the PM Guild tally, and it updates the database directly in Notion now too.
Cool. So this is something that I'm super happy that we have this, and I'm wondering if we can already regard this as completed, or if Michael, if you feel there is some. Hey.
So I was trying to unmute myself. So I think we can still leave it as in progress since we haven't gotten any leads yet.
Mm-hmm.
So say if we've gotten some leads, say we've gotten some leads, we can like mark it as completed. Also, I have a question for Fibo.
I was just curious. I was just curious, when would the retrospective take place?
That's up to the project.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, interesting, because we wanted to run a sort of retrospective for Bankless Research, and I sort of wanted to do this on my own, but I've never done it before with the team, so it might be sort of smart to actually take advantage of this. So, Mikhail, I'll be reaching out to you, or I think that's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
cool.
Thank you.
I'll actually drop the form in the Bankless Research. I'm there, like in the project, so you can just fill the form, so everything will come out there.
Perfect.
About that.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So I have a question for Fibo. The previous message I sent was with the tally form that was there was the one Fibo used. So I want to know if there have been any responses there before I edited and changed it to the new one.
Not really, to be honest. There haven't been any submissions there. But we should maybe share this in the newsletter or something. Like whatever link you create, but there haven't been any submissions.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Ena, you can continue.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I guess in case we don't have feedback in the next 1 or 2 weeks, then maybe as a second step, we can also reach out to the projects that we have been doing retrospectives in the past. Just because I think in our busy lives, then things may get lost. And then I'm thinking maybe some of the projects that had retrospectives in the past will be interested in having them run again.
Then, put us in their budgets for season 5.
Yeah, true. Then there is talk to DAO relationships and Bankless Consulting to get external visibility for retros as a service. D-side, in case you're actively listening, there is GM. Then on the Kanban board, there is now a item in the completed form called create a short description of retrospective as a service that references to the just discussed post by McKeel, which also has a flyer. If possible, could you have a look at that flyer and see whether this is something that would be useful for Bankless Consulting, and also to the question maybe that we talked about last week, whether Bankless Consulting is interested in somehow using retrospective as a service as their service offering. So that would be really cool.
Okay, sounds good. Where can I find it again? I'm sorry, Renee.
Yeah, so if you go to the Kanban board, there is the section retrospectives, and then if you see the completed item, create a short description of retrospective as a service, there is a link in there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks to you. And then guild visibility. Make our KPIs more visible. Hopefully I can do that after we completed our KPIs today, or we have completed the overview of the KPIs today. Set up a thought leadership session every 3 weeks. I'm in final discussion with Justice on the panel and the topic and the date for the first one of these, and then hopefully we can start to do this in a regular cadence. I'll keep you posted as soon as this moves. Create a pitch poster for PM Guild services. I have to say, I haven't seen JP around since, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if they're still active. Else, I guess I guess I'll reach out to them, and then let's see if they're still interested in completing this. Else, I'm going to open this up again for volunteers to pick it up. So it's actually an extension of the retrospective as a service. And I think there is something there already, but I don't think it's finalized. And then the last item is form for interviewing. I think it was called new clients, but I think it was new members, right?
Yeah, that's the form that Oak Floors is working on that he'd like to use with as part of the podcast hatchery engagement.
Yeah, sounds good. And then just wondering to the audience as a whole, but especially to GCal and SWAL, should we do a walk the board for the talent and education work stream in this session, or do you do it usually in your individual meets, so we are creating kind of a redundancy then?
Ideally, I know GCal's probably got something to say with that because he's managing success with his perspective, but from mine, obviously I couldn't align my time with people's availability. They're available with my 9 to 5. So it didn't really work for me. I do think though that this should be picked up in an education workstream sprint that's separate from this meeting. Also, I haven't updated my education Kanban board. I've literally not really done much with Discord or Notion at all this week. It's just been chaotic. And I've had to kind of prioritize a couple of other things. As I said, launched a brand new trading platform literally yesterday, so it's been crazy. So from Edu workstream perspective, I'd rather not go through the Kanban board. I think this will be part of the transition and handover with whatever happens, which me and you will flesh out tomorrow. GCal, if you want to join as well, that's fine.
Yeah, we walk it on Wednesdays, so we just walked it a couple days ago. For anyone who missed it, I posted the recording. I think the only thing, Sprinkles, I think I saw you on the call. Is there anything, I know you couldn't make Wednesday, is there anything you need from me or the guild on the onboarding flow? Because I really appreciate the initiative you're taking there and trying to help with our new member onboarding flow. So I just wanted to check in with you to see if you need anything from any of us.
No, I do have one question though. I don't know if anyone knows the answer to it. When a new member goes on and under the roles tag, when they select their little emoji, does that information go anywhere? Anybody know?
We don't use that information right now, but what it does is it goes onto the user's Discord profile so that we can, it creates a role tag called Project Management Guild. So anyone who self-selects that role, we can basically tag them and say hey, Project Management Guild, here's a thing.
Right, so is there a way to pull a new person, like somebody that would just select that?
That's really good.
That tag? Do you know what I mean?
don't think there's an easy way to do it.
Okay. So no master database that...
Maybe the easy, sorry, Sprinkles, I just realized.
No, go ahead.
Maybe the easy way is, following the same sort of principle, so you want to kind of just gauge, as soon as someone's clicked on their first quest and they want to join a PM guild, we can pick that information up. Maybe we use the PM guild start here. We include something in that start here section that kind of just gives us literally the person's username, straight up. No other information but the person's Discord name.
Right, or even before they get to the PM guild start here, when they're in the main, like the bank list, start here, role select, and then you select the emoji.
So it's technically, I believe, possible because you can have hooks into that process, but you'd have to talk to Ops Guild to get access to that.
Okay.
They arrange it in the Discord admin work stream.
I'm sorry?
Ray, you're hardly audible.
How is it?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay. So yeah, it's in the Ops Guild Discord admin work stream. We can just go there and ask to apply this emoji select in the PM start here channel.
Okay, perfect.
I just tagged you in the right place, Sprinkles for Winners. So I just tagged you in that thread.
I see that. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, while you have...
use that, sorry, we can use that in Sobol also.
While you have this thread open, it's just, this has been a really nice example. I think Sprinkles and we've been doing a lot of asynchronous work. So using Notion, using the tools that we have, I know there's been some questions throughout the chat of how do I work asynchronously, and I just think we've been working really well together, and I've appreciated that.
Dude, I was going to say, your talent work stream is absolutely smashing it with async work.
Sure.
Thank you, Swole.
Thank you.
You guys are on fire. Right, back to it. Guys, once I've done the mint kudos, I'm going to have to shoot. My dinner's turned up and it is getting cold.
Yeah, actually, Swal, I was thinking that we should prioritize the KPIs and the Sobol one because those have been waiting already for a week. Actually, the KPIs for 2 weeks, and then I'll sacrifice mint kudos rather. So if you want to drop, then you can also drop now, if that makes sense to you.
That's fine. I can at least dish my dinner up and eat it whilst we're on the
phone. Yeah, then let's do that.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Thank you. This is the other point though. Could someone drive the stream while I'm gone?
Yeah, I guess we can switch to Ray because now the Kanban board is pretty much done. So we can continue with the Sobol demo, so Ray can take over anyway.
Okay, thank you. So I will share screen. So this is Sobol. We didn't see it yet. You are all able to log in with your Discord handles, and also you can connect your wallets too. That will help us for the next updates. That will help us. So basically, what I will be focusing on is this view right now. It's the circles view. Basically, that shows every team in the DAO. These teams can be guilds and projects and sub teams under the teams, like our cartography project. And from our cartography project, there is a group of people that are local cartographers in the AV Guild. This is a sub team. And these pink member circles are generated by the Discord bot from the Discord tags. So that's why I was saying that if we have handles, Discord handles for, okay, here, Project Management Guild is here. We can just go into only that team structure, so we can kind of work on it or view it a little bit easier. Okay, so here is what we have in the project management group.
And Ray, the criterion member that we're currently looking at, you said, is created by the Discord bot, right?
Yes. But
And
this members, this big one, is whoever passes by and picks up the project management tag from the role select channel. We can specify this for PM start here channel. Sorry. And if you go and pick up the education work group tag, for example, from the start here, then you appear here in this members circle. Right. Or you can pick up the talent work group and appear here. This is the lead role, so this will be separate, and then there will be another members circle. And what we do in the Translators Guild for active members, this still can be just picked up from the Start Here channel, right? So for the Translators Guild, what we do is we have about the same system for deciding an active member. Join some meetings, join the coordinate, like be active criterion. And then if you are active, if you fill the criterion, you get the translator tag. This tag is assigned manually by a role holder. So people who are really active are actually this here. We could have written active members here. Right. Imagine that. So basically, we can map our teams members, active members, lesser active members with the only tags and stuff. And also we have this.
You said you showed earlier how you can kind of self-select into the talent work stream using the Sobol UI. Could you self-select into this group as well, or is that you said the role was like manually added? Is that because you don't want people to self-select?
The role is manually added in the Discord. You get this translator tag, or let's say you get an active member tag in the project management guild, and can I do that? Searching inside. So let's say in this circle, project management guild, we decide that if you if you fill the criterion, you get the project management active member tag in the Discord. Then what I do is create a new circle here. I'm used to using the table view. Create a new circle here, say active member PM guild. So now it's empty. And let's say the tag is, then I can go to the Discord and using the commands of the Discord, Sobol Discord bot, and fill in this active members with the manually added tag. I didn't share screen. I could have shown from the Discord, but I think it will distract now. But we can use it like that. And for some parts we were talking about onboarding, you have a profile page, and in this profile page, these teams that you are in is coming from the Discord bot. This personal statement, you can write something here, explaining yourself. You can get a Twitter, you can get your wallet address here, so that with which one? This contributor sign up form is kind of unnecessary then. In the onboarding sessions, we can just show people to use their profiles, so we can just go in and search for the people we are looking for, get their wallet addresses or whatever they want to give us. You can go with skills, interests. In the skills, for example, I did this PM retrospective just to show how it looks like. You can show your skills here. And in the members directory, we have the database of people. You can search with skills. Like what did we have? PM. Retros from the filters, sorry. Add filter. Skills. Contain. And you can find people with PM skills, for example.
To Lynx's point, so actually all information that's in here, you can update on your own, right? So there is no possibility to like limit, for example, defining your being an active member to, for example, GCal or me to give you this.
No, it's not open to.
You know what I mean.
If I understand right, you are asking if people can just assign themselves as active members.
Yes.
No, they cannot. If you choose to give the manual active member tag in the Discord, we will use the Discord bot to say that if I assign this person as an active member, then get them into the circle, into the active member circle of PM in the Sobel.
Okay, so we're using the manual tagging in Discord as the proxy for getting this.
Yes, totally.
Understood.
And yeah, so I have this profile page, the information you were asking in the beginning of the chat, in the beginning of the meeting, like the time zone. And
yes.
We also have a goal tracking. Okay, so sorry, before that, how can we see the project managers around the DAO, right? Searching with skills is one thing. Also, I can show in Translators Guild, we kind of try to incubate projects, small projects, scoping in the translations. So we have this, for example, glossary and the DAO Laters project. And in glossary, you can see there is this project manager role, and this person holds it. And then there is the members role. So we can set a name for the project managers, and it will be like BDAO glossary PM. And when you search or when you go to a circle of any team, you will know what you're looking for. You're looking for a PM with a role that ends with project manager or PM for short.
Yeah, that's great. Really awesome. Okay, I was not aware of those features of Sobol. That actually means that we can rethink quite a lot of our member tracking in Notion. Agreed, GCal and maybe Links as well.
I guess I just wonder, like, what's the benefit of Sobol versus the Notion tracking we're doing? Like, I guess I'm confused at the use case of Sobol, like for this member tracking stuff.
Well,
like, how are you guys using it? Sorry, go ahead.
This view here basically is an organizational chart with some added features and Discord integration that we agree and with the roles that we are using here. And this, for the organizational chart point of view, this kind of visualizes what we are doing in these guilds and teams, smaller teams, projects, whatever. and gives us transparency and also tracking as you were talking.
Like, is the intent for transparency across groups?
Across groups, across DAOs, across people. You can, now that we have this explore option, if a DAO deems it its instance, we call this an Sobol instance, they are getting into this list, and you can jump into their map and even just, I don't know, just join. Like you see, there's a role here, developer consultant. If you're a developer consultant, just go in and ask people, how can I get this role? What do I have to do? I see this in your Sobol. It's empty. Is it really empty? Stuff like that.
Like the use cases for new joiners to understand the structure of the guild?
Yeah, that's a part of it. Transparency is a part of it. Contributor tracking is a part of it. For this view only, we also have the goal tracking. I also want to get into this a little bit, just a short time maybe. If you
like I'm specifically interested in like this view because like I guess I still can't wrap my head around I've tried to use Sobol a few times and I just didn't know, like as someone who was like, oh, I want to like talk to someone in this guild because I need something, or I need something from the ops guild, and I would go in and then I wouldn't know what to do from there. Like I would go in, I would find the person, I would tag them, but like I could have done the same thing by just going into
For
Discord.
example, I just zoomed in to Design Guild, and there's two persons called project coordinators. We can just go in there and just like ask these guys about what's going on. We are project management guild. What are you doing here? How can we help? Do you want to join us or whatever? Or you have like whatever, you know? You have some project management approach you want to go on, try in the design guild, go, you know who to talk to.
So I see all this, and I don't think it's something we could tackle this season. If we want, I think what we need to do is either put up a task to evaluate our, because we're just trying to get the basics of onboarding down right now and working that through. This feels like it would be more on top of that, or just a complete change in direction, which I'm not saying is the wrong thing to do. But for this season, I would think we should finish our basic flow and then evaluate Sobol for onboarding, active member tracking, for in season 6.
I think it can just happen along the way.
Well, I guess I challenged that because I saw Link's still in there as the talent workstream lead. So like something isn't syncing.
Yeah, well, we like.
I also do wonder if
we started the. I'm sorry. We started the bounties to map the project, map the guilds. Just yesterday, McHill, right? We were talking about McHill. Do you want to do the PM guild first or education? And he chose education. So when after that, we will update the PM guild. So it will be updated. There is a work stream keeping this up to date, trying to keep that up to date. It's a living thing, so it's it's a little bit hard.
So can I say real quick? I've used Sobol, and I think it's really cool. And once it's like, I want to say widely adapted amongst the DAO, like when everyone's using it, it'll be a really helpful tool. Right now, we're not at like where everyone's kind of going towards Notion. It's not. It doesn't have all the correct information on it. I mean, neither does Notion all the time. But it has a lot of really good designs, and the node feature, like it visually, you can visually see everything a lot clearer than you can on Notion. I think it just.
We talked about the. I proposed an onboarding kind of handbook before, and here as we talked with Links before because he was the talents coordinator. Here, what we just start doing, what we just need to start doing is While onboarding, let people fill in their profiles. That's all. After that, the most of the things will be done by the Sobol team, DAO cartography team working here. We just gonna say them, okay, we need a tag here, and this tag will be the active members. They'll set it up, and you will see your active members. It's actually, I just believe that it will be happening along the way. And now that we kind of know what we can use this for, when we are thinking about how do we track the active members, this is an option.
I think it's an interesting way to illustrate and sort of display structures and size of guilds. And I see the problem also in there because I assume that if I pick up all the tags, I will probably pop up in every single guild. And so bubbles and sort of guilds seem bigger than they actually are. And I think this is probably the case with a lot of members that have many tags on, but are actually contributing maybe in like 4 or 5 areas. So this is sort of like a pitfall I see with Sobol. Is this actually addressed in the cartography workstream? Or do you try to find solutions for that?
There is 2 things about seeming big. One is this members toggle here. This is every member, whoever passes through that tag. And this happens a lot with the guilds and big projects. So that's why we have the untoggling option. And the second thing about big guilds and big projects with the big circles, that's about teams. More teams you have, more bigger you've seen. Like these, as you can see, with the team number of this, it doesn't, the number of people inside those teams doesn't make that much of an impact. The number of teams make more impact on the size of these bubbles.
I would like to jump in here, guys, because I can see that we have 5 minutes left, and I think there is a lot on Sobol that we find interesting that we can discuss. However, I want to make sure that I can say a few sentences to KPIs. If you feel that we should dive even deeper on Sobol soon, then please let me know. And else we will just see how and when we have the capacity and we find which use cases we find useful to transition things that we currently do in Notion onto Sobol.
Yeah, thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you for presenting. It's great that we're recording because that means we can review it anytime and can make the most out of it.
Yeah, thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. 4 minutes for KPIs. First of all, I want to thank Lynx, Swal, and GKL again for input on those and the KPIs that unless someone has an issue with it, that we will follow our number of active members in the guild season on season, which is essentially the main tracker as to if the guild is staying constant, growing, are we doing broadly the right things to attract people? And the second one is the level of active members. This is to understand not only how many people we have in the guild, but as Lynx framed it in the respective thread, the quality of the people when it comes to PM skills. And when we are going to talk about mint kudos in the next session, then we'll be able to see that this is something that we can measure this KPI with. Maybe this KPI will be the most challenging one to measure this season, but let's aim for being able to do this. And then rate of recommendation of guild as per vibes check. This would be good if we use this vibes check then on a at least seasonal basis to understand whether we are going into the right direction. And the same is the rating of vibes as per vibes check, because at least to me, there is a difference between I recommend the guild and I feel that the guild has the vibes that make me come back. So I also think that this is an important measure of whether we are going in the right direction. That was a very quick overview. So we have 2 minutes for immediate questions, feedback, and then of course you're very much invited to ask questions in the channel if you can't place it here. Three. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yep, yep.
GM Rainy, like I picked some tags on the Kanban board. So I'd like to ask, like I've been on Notion tagging you along to like get some fit to understand very well the criteria. So like for the let me promote the PM team in BDAO. So like you gave 3 criteria there, which I understand the first point very well. The third point I do understand, like a shout out on the community call about PM Guild, but I'm trying to like get the other side where you said update PM Guild in the community call. Like I don't get that. I don't get like every week. Then when do I like submit the tax that it has been done? And the second point, so you can hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, please let me know if you can hear me anymore. Like I said, there were some criteria you posted on the on promote PM team in BDAO. Yes. So I said I understand the first point very well, and I understand the last point, the third one, but I still need a little clarity on the third point. You said weekly shout out and update of PM Guild in the community call by one of the members of the guild. I understand shout out on the community call, but I don't really get updates PM Guild. Is it that I bring reports, the person taking this tax brings reports from community call to PM Guild?
No, this is more in the other direction. So the person doing this will give any updates of the PM Guild in the community call.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And okay.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
Sorry, could we just continue that discussion via DM, because we're at the hour, and I just want to close the session before everyone runs away, if that's okay for you. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I will slide into your DM.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Keep up with you. Thank you.
And then also, thank you for everyone for joining. This was again a super nice session with you. Good way of finalizing the week. And have a great weekend. Talk to you soon or see you in the channel.